Hi everyone, and welcome to Mail Something Pretty. This is the Norwell Council on Aging February Valentines class. Thank you for signing up and participating, and I'm going to show you how to make these Valentine's cards, and hopefully you like them. They're kind of bright and cheery. A couple little candy papers and hearts papers, and I just thought it was kind of fun, bright and bold, and can be used for anyone, grandkids, spouse, friend. I thought they were a good assortment. So you have your 4 envelopes, and so I'm just going to start. I don't even know which one it is. We're just going to pick one, and then we will put it together. Oh, actually happens to be this one on top. Okay, so this is the first card that we're going to make. All you really need for the class is some glue, and one of the cards you're going to need some scissors, but everything else you should be good. Okay, so this card has a textured heart with some sticky things on the back, and then you have some papers with this pretty purple paper background. It's 3 of those, kind of like 3 panels. You have the inside paper and a little strip on the bottom, so that will go on the inside. So you can write your little message. All right, so first I think I'll just start with the inside first. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just on that strip, and that will, hopefully you can see, I'll put on the red. That's just going to go on the bottom. You could actually put it on the top too. I tend to put them on the bottom. Then it should line up. And then I will just glue that to the inside of the card, because that red's kind of dark to write a message. Like that. And it works out so there's a little bit the same kind of border around each side. All right, so that's your inside. And then we're going to work on the outside. We'll work on these panels. So you just find out which ones match up. It's kind of like the long, the medium, the smaller. And these ones have a really, hopefully you can see, it's a really small border. It's kind of tight. But to make it so that you could see the red in between, I had to make them kind of skinny borders. So the same thing, we're just going to put some glue in the back of the printed paper. I find that to be a little bit easier. And then you are just going to put it on, again, with that really skinny border. And we'll do that for all 3 pieces. I had some fun Valentine papers this year. And I really liked, sometimes I get tired of just red and pink. So I liked how they introduced the purple. Oops. Into a lot of these papers. Okay, and this is the last one. These are cute little lollipops. Kind of had, this one too has some candy, cute little candy theme. All right, so that one's gonna have that same little border. My hands are cold, they're not working out too good. There we go, okay. So then we're going to put them, you can kind of line them up to see where they go. Put my sample there so you can see it. If you wanted, you can certainly flip them around. If you wanted this on this side, it really doesn't matter. So use some glue again. And this one, I'm going to make the border, it's going to be the same, the top, the bottom, and the side. That's kind of how you can eyeball it. It's probably about 1/4 of an inch, like that. It'll really be the same on the other side too. So I'm going to line these 2 up, keep this border the same, like that, and then we'll just fill in the last piece. Here we go. This one might have slightly thicker, but that's fine, because we're going to put a heart right on top of it. So the heart I textured for you just to give it a little bit of, I don't know, just so it was a little bit more pleasing than a straight flat heart. And so you're just going to peel these. This gets peeled off, and they're sticky. They're kind of like pop-ups. They're really called dimensionals, but people call them pop-ups. And then you can just put that wherever you want. I'm just going to line up kind of my point of the heart in the middle there. Same thing with the, just kind of so it's centered. And there you go. There is your first Valentine card. It's kind of fun and bright. All right, so the next one, let's see what it is. Oh, that's this one. Okay. This one, I really like this one. It's different, but I think it's kind of fun. Lots of strips, different papers, kind of bright, and then on the inside, I did kind of the same thing. So this one has all sorts of strips. They're all a 1/2 inch thick. You have 2 hearts, and you have an X and an O. Oops. And you have a smaller strip on the inside. So let's do that first so we don't get mixed up. So that smaller strip, it's the same width as that white paper. We're just going to stick that down just like we did the other card. I hope you all fared well during the blizzard we just had this weekend. That was quite a lot of snow and wind. All right, so I'm just going to put that on the inside. Again, that same thing. This has the same border all around the, I think it's like 1/8 of an inch. All right, so that's the inside. So the outside are all these strips. You can do them in any order you want. Some of the papers have 2 sides. You'll see like the printed paper have 2 sides. So you can choose whichever one you want. And what I did, actually, I might just copy what I did so I don't have, otherwise I'll be like thinking too hard of what I want. You might want to get like a scrap piece of paper or something, because what we're going to do is these strips are too big for the card, and so we're going to trim them. But if you have glue on the other side, just have something that you don't want to ruin your table. I'm just going to use this little silicone pad that the glue will dry on. And you really don't even have to put the glue all the way to the edges. I probably shouldn't have done that, because that's more than what I want. And you're just going to just put them on there. Some of them are going to get crossed over. If you want them all in perfect alignment, you can do that too. And we're just going to put all the strips down. So this one I'll have a little bit of a red spot right there. Again, I don't think you can go wrong with which papers you have next to each other, but for the sake of you, see, I'm not thinking of what I want next to what. I'm just copying what I did. All right, so the strips you can see are overhanging, and that's fine. You actually kind of want that. All right. This one's cute because you can have either side with the candy hearts or the different versions of I love you. But again, I like that purple. I like the purple in it. My hands are freezing. They're not working. Alright. So just gluing the strips. I think it's fun to make homemade Valentines. Reminds me when I was little. we used to have in school. You remember you did all those Valentines, you put them in a little box. Everyone had a little mailbox at the end of the desk. Oh, this one I see. I did tricky. I put this one down and then I put that one. Again, it really doesn't matter how you do your strips, but I think I did that because I wanted the purple on top. Like that. I wonder if they still do little Valentines in the classrooms. I have no idea. My kids are out of school. I think my kids they stopped doing them. I think in 4th grade was like the last year that they did them. All right, there we go. So it looks kind of messy, but once we trim it, it's going to look good. All right, so you can let it dry for a minute, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut. I'm going to open it up, and I'm just going to use my scissors and cut straight along this line. Okay, so now it's a straight edge. Oops, pushed on the glue. And then we have this one, so I close the card, and then I'm just going to flip it over and do the same thing. I think it's much easier doing it this way than measuring what you want your strips to be. So it looks much neater. And then if you get glue on your scissors, you can clean them off. All right, let me move these over. And then we'll just finish it up. Actually, I guess I need that again. So now we have the 2 white hearts, kind of the outline heart and the solid heart. And actually when I cut them, they cut together, and that's kind of how they did. And then we have the X and the O. So this one, you are going to have to put a little glue on it because I don't have the sticky stuff on the back. So you can put them wherever you want on the card. I'm going to actually put this big one down first. Just going to kind of put it right there. And then this one, I'm just going to put little dabs, just tiny little dabs, or if you're using a glue stick, you can do that too. And I'm going to put that on top because I like the look of this on top of the white heart. And then hopefully my fingers will work for the next part. The X and the O do have sticky stuff on the back, so you just have to, and it's hard because they're both white, but if you can separate them, see, oh, some of yours will be one big piece, some of yours will have couple pieces. So this one had kind of like 2 little pieces, but it's sticky. And I thought that was easier than the glue. So I'm just going to put the X right there. Or if you don't want to use the XO, that's fine. You can just put your hearts more in the middle. So that one just peeled right off like that. XO, hugs and kisses. Okay. I'll just push them down just to make sure my glue's all staying stuck. Okay. So that is your second Valentine card. All right. The third one, this was actually the first one I thought of when I made the series here, is this one. I love the simplicity of it. I've seen Christmas cards like this too, with just the branch and like a red cardinal. I just think it's kind of classy. So you only have 3 pieces for this one. You have a textured, like a pine needle textured piece of white. We're going to put that right in the middle, and it doesn't, you can choose which side. I think both sides work, but you can choose which side you want on the top. And that will go end to end. It goes to the edge, the top and bottom. And then you have about a 1/2 inch on both sides, but it's all white. Okay. So then you have a branch. And again, it has that sticky stuff on the back. This one doesn't. I'm going to put a little glue on mine, but yours should all be covered. I gave myself kind of that family holdback mentality, the one that wasn't perfect. So if you peel that off, but before you stick it down, you're going to put your heart through the branch, and the branch could go, you know, either direction, however you want it. And it can kind of hang wherever you want it to. So if you want your branch to take up the whole space, or if you want it partly, then you can trim it. So kind of however you want it. So my branch is gonna, I'm just gonna do what I did. There we go. I'm just trying to center my heart. So I want it on that loop. There we go. That should not have been as complicated as it was. Okay, so stick it down. And again, the heart is not stuck at all. It's just kind of hanging on the branch like that. And then I have a little overhang, so I'm just going to trim it, just like what we did in the other card. So that card is super simple, but I just think it's kind of classy and elegant. I'll push that branch down later. Okay. And the final card is going to be this one. It's kind of on a white heart theme this time. So these are all your pieces. So you have 2 strips of the hearts. So one is thinner and a little shorter. That's the one that's going to go on the inside. So we'll do that first. So we're going to put that, I'm going to put all these other pieces aside. And again, same thing. We're just going to put that on the bottom. I just thought that looked nicer instead of just having a plain white inside. Since I can't stamp things for you, I was trying to think of ways to get a little bit of color and imagery on the insides of your cards, so this seems to work. And then it matches the outside. All right, and then we'll just put that on the inside. Exactly the same as those other ones. Okay, so then the front, we have a little scalloped tip, and it's just a little bit darker, and then this is going to go on top. So you can decide if you want it right in the middle or if you want up a little higher. Oh, I think I forgot something. So I'm going to put that right there. It's almost in the middle. And then I'm just going to put this right on top, and I'm just going to line this up, kind of, you have that stitch mark, so I'm going to put that so it's just right above the stitch mark. That. All right, I'm going to pause the video for a second because I forgot this piece, so I will be right back. Okay, I just forgot these hearts. So now we're just going to put the hearts down. Some of them, the ones that actually have the stitching on the edge, have those same pop-ups, those dimensionals, on the back. So you can lay them however you want, but these are the ones that are going to kind of be raised. So let me just... Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to copy what I did. So I'm just going to put a little glue and stick the hearts down. You can put them in any order you like. They can go up and down, really wherever you want. Okay, so now I'm just going to peel off the back. Let's just peel right off, and then they just stick. It's kind of nice. That gives that dimension. All right, and then this one has that same sticky stuff on the back. So you just peel the backing away like that. Again, so that one's not a full piece, so I know that means there's another piece on here. It's kind of how it worked out when I was putting the sticky stuff on it. There we go. Okay. And then you can stick that wherever you'd like. All right, so then that one opens up like that. All right, so let me just give you a little recap of what we did. So we started with this one, little candy lollipops, and then we made this one with all the like little strips. We made this little heart on a branch, and then we made these little white hearts on the pink. So thank you very much for signing up for the class. Thank you, Debbie, for offering it, and Sue too. Hopefully we'll get back to in-person classes at the Council on Aging, and when we do, I really hope you sign up. We can do cards similar to this, but we can also involve stamping with ink and rubber stamps, so that adds to more of the fun. And it's fun to do it together. So in the meantime, thank you, be safe, have a really nice Valentine's Day, and we'll see you in the spring for some springtime cards. Thank you again. I'm Christine Josti of Mail Something Pretty. Have a great day.